approximately 10 minutes till lights out. So, we're getting ready for the race. It's slightly changing conditions. It seems like it will be dry for the start of the race. But there is rain potentially during the race. Jal, how you doing? It was absolutely chucking it down at Silverstone first thing this morning. I was watching the Porsche Super Cup race there, chucking it down. But then it has dried out quite significantly now. And when they were going to the grid, it was dry. It rained a little bit. Now it's dry again, and the race start will apparently be dry, but there is a possibility of rain during the race. So we'll see. I think the likelihood of there being a British 1-2-3 will be so unlikely anyway, Dan, honestly. My gut feeling is that neither of the Mercedes drivers will win. I think it'll either be Lando or it'll be Max. That's my gut instinct. I think in the race, McLaren and Red Bull will have too much race pace for the Mercedes. In fact, I suspect that by halfway through the race, both Mercedes will be. Unless rain alters things, I think Max and Lando will be the ones fighting for the win. Spam, how you doing? Dan, obviously, hello. So I personally think Lando has the best chance of winning. Unless it rains. If it rains, then I think it goes more towards Mercedes. But in dry conditions, I think it goes... it goes more towards McLaren. I'm hoping for a good race. Listen, I'm hoping for an interesting race. The start's going to be interesting. Sometimes we hope for, great races and we don't get them, though. So, I'm just quietly hopeful. Quietly hopeful. So we'll see. Fingers crossed and all that. I did watch the England game, yeah. I have a lot of thoughts on the England game, Shock. I don't know if they're the same as other people's. I mean, I think... we'll put it this way. I think England, with all the quality they have, going to extra time against both Switzerland and Slovakia, I think that in itself probably says everything. To be honest. Listen, they won, won on penalties, but again, I don't think they shone themselves in a particularly good light again. I would say that they were better than the other games, but we're talking margins here. So, yeah, I definitely think it was better. Here's the thing. I saw a video just now, so it was shared on Twitter, and it was from one of their corners last night, where from the corner, instead of crossing it in, they passed it sideways, short pass from the corner, and then Switzerland pressed them, and they passed it all the way back to Pickford. And the person who'd recorded it is like, what the fuck? What the fuck am I watching? Do you know what I mean? And it's that sort of mentality that they're playing with. It's like they're never passing it forward half the time. It's just, yeah, it's so frustrating though, even as a non-English person to watch, because they've got so much ability. So yeah, honestly, like Gareth Southgate, I don't know what. Honestly, I don't know what he's doing. I think Trent should start. I think either Palmer should start. I mean, I think they played Gordon once as a sub, didn't they? Foden. I mean, Foden's been shit. I don't know. I'm no football expert, and I don't watch all the weekend games week in, week out. I know he's been good for City, but I've watched all the England games, and he's been fucking shit. And don't even get me started on Harry Kane. Do you know what? I almost tweeted this, Shock, but I didn't in the end. There was the commentators were talking. Harry Kane yesterday, he got a tackle in right on his 18-yard box, right? It was a great tackle. Stop. I can't remember which Swiss player it was from having a shot. It's like, brilliant. Oh, it's Harry Kane. Brilliant. And then England players trying to get out of their half, they had no outlet. And the commentators are saying, well, you know, England, yeah, they're struggling. They've got no outlet. Yeah, they've got no fucking outlet because Harry Kane is in the fucking 18-yard box. It's like, oh, yeah, no, it's great. He got a tackle in, fair play, but you shouldn't fucking be there. It's mental. He just drops back to the point where he's in his own fucking box. And it's like, I don't understand, to be honest. I don't get it. I haven't seen Bayern Munich playing this season, though, so I can't really comment on Harry Kane that much. But for England, Jesus Christ, he's never in the box. He's never in the box. And some people have made a good point. The reason they're not crossing enough, England, and passing forward is because there's never anyone ahead to pass it to. Because he's always dropping back. You know, he was behind Foden and Bellingham most of the game when England weren't in possession. Like, when Switzerland were in possession, Harry Kane was deeper than Foden and Bellingham. And it's like, mate, come on. Come on. Anyway, sorry, you've got me started now, Shai. It's frustrating watching England. Even as a Welshman, I'd like to see England do well, and I feel like they've got all the ingredients, but rather than cracking the eggs properly and sifting the flour, they've just gone, picked it all up in the trolley and just dumped it all in a bowl, and they're trying to mix it with a fucking shovel. Honestly, Southgate as well. Jesus Christ. At this point, they were, down 1-0. He still hadn't made a substitute, and it was like 74 minutes or something. Like, come on, Gareth, please. But then he'll claim responsibility partly for the subs and for the penalty shootout and stuff like that. You know, they won that game not because of anything he did, as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, England is shit. The sky is blue. British Grand Prix. Who do we think is going to win? Who's everyone's money on? I'm leaning towards Lando or Max, but I don't know which one. I think Norris has a very good chance. Norris has got a great chance, honestly. Everyone pretty much is starting on the mediums. Oh, by the way, Perez is starting from the pit lane. He was 19th because of his off in qualifying, so they decided to change his engine. Makes sense. He's already taken the hit from qualifying. May as well get that engine change in now. So he's starting on the hard tyres from the pit lane. Everyone else on mediums, apart from Ocon in 18th on the softs and Zhou Guanyu on the softs. Mercedes do prefer low tyre temperatures. They struggle a lot more in hotter temps. I wouldn't like to get out of that fucking field with all this rain. I'll tell you that. Just looking at the car park. I don't want to be getting out of that car park with all this rain. As always, I will tell you when the lights go out so that you can sync the stream should you wish to. We are live on Twitch and we're live on YouTube. Twitch, best chat. YouTube, best video player. I thought I saw some sprinkles of rain on the camera there, but maybe not. They would have been aware of that. YouTube chat noise. Listen, the YouTube chat's getting better. YouTube Play is so good, though. The fact that you can pause it, it's just better. You know, the fact that you can pause it and skim through the YouTube player, just so much better than Twitch. But Twitch chat is still, you know, much better. Gasly's going into the pits. We have an issue with the car. He's just taken a 50-place grid penalty. What? Oh, Gasly. Oh, poor Pierre Gasly. Right. Cars are lining up. Green flag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go. It's status quo, it looks like. Good start from everyone at the front. Oh! I feel like there was contact there between Norris and Max. Max has got ahead of Norris. Looked like there was a bit of contact there. It looked like there was a little bit of contact between Max and Oh, this is going to be so close. So Norris and Piastri are running 4th and 5th, with Verstappen now up to 3rd. Sainz is in 6th, Charles Leclerc 8th. And now Lando's all over the back of Max. They did replace Max's floor. Yeah, they had a spare floor, so they were able to replace it without penalty, like for like. Rain in 25 minutes. That's what Hamilton's been told over the radio. Hmm. Oh, Gasly's retired. They've just changed his engine. He was going to take the pain, and he's had to retire. Oh, man. Poor Pierre. Hulkenberg leaving the track gaining an advantage. I'm not sure we saw that. Hmm. Hamilton's out of DRS now as well. Yeah, the weather could spice this up if rain does indeed come. So it was a 31.4 across the line, a 31.2 there for Russell. It was a slow 31.7 for Hamilton, but a 32.2 for Verstappen. So Mercedes early doors have decent pace. Charles Leclerc, yeah, he's up to 8th. Hulkenberg and Alonso rounding out the top 10. Stroll is actually ahead of Alonso, again, obviously. Perez started on the hards from the pit lane. He's in 19th. So they are expecting rain, but they just don't know when it's going to come. Hmm. No, Verstappen, no damage for Verstappen. He was able to replace his floor like for like. As provided it's if something's damaged, you can replace it for a similar part with no penalty. Yeah, I'm watching the start now. Albon made contact with someone, I think. Oh, Hulkenberg came on the track. One of the Aston Martins, I think it was Alonso, came across, and Albon got into a tank slapper. I think he actually made contact with Sargent, you know. It was a great move from Max. Just watching it from Albon's perspective now. Oh, yeah. Alonso basically had to get out of the way of Hulkenberg, and Albon had nowhere to go. Literally nowhere to go. Yeah, it's very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. George is now 1.4 seconds ahead of Hamilton, with Verstappen the similar distance behind. I think right now, you know, yeah, Albon's had a good season. To be honest, Albon's had a good few seasons at Williams. He's been showing, you know, great consistency. Like, Norris is still in the DRS of Max, but not really doing anything with that right now. Hamilton and Russell are doing pretty much the exact same lap times currently. I wonder if Lewis has intentionally sort of fallen back just to try and obviously save temperatures and stuff. I don't know that's the case. But it wouldn't surprise me. Charles Leclerc is right up behind Stroll. He could really do with getting past Stroll and getting himself further up into this race. Ooh. I thought he was going to go past there. Yeah, it's weird that he said increased rain, which would imply that there is currently rain. Wouldn't it? Not we're expecting rain, we're expecting increased rain. It does look grey. It does look grey back there. I would be surprised if there isn't rain at some point during this race based on the clouds, but you never know with the UK. You never know. Bloody Amelia Clark. Perez has made his way up to 17th, by the way. What a lad. This gyrocam is so weird. It's all very tight out there between the top six. Yeah, Mercedes are doing good lap times, but it's hard to know who's, you know, really, really managing at the minute. So... Danny Rick. Danny Rick. $14th. Good noon, Daz. Esteban Ocon started on those soft tires, but I'm not sure they're the ones, to be honest. Rain in 10 minutes, apparently. I think Norris will definitely be managing. If there's rain and both Mercs have to pit, Hamilton will get ruined, as will Piastri. So if there's rain and both Mercedes have to pit, Hamilton will probably drop behind Norris and Verstappen because they'll have to double stack the Mercedes. So it'll be pretty disastrous, I think. Both Mercedes running well, doing pretty much identical lap times, though. Verstappen is falling back bit by bit. Bit by bit. Rain in 10 minutes. I mean, someone said rain lap 6. Someone said rain lap 16. It's been said rain in 10 minutes. It's the only common denominator is that rain will apparently be coming. Hmm. This rain could, like, really be a ruiner. Yeah, because it depends how heavy it is. If it's only coming for 10 minutes, but it's heavy, it could, you know. It's hard to know. I mean, yeah, the radar. You look at the sky, it certainly looks. But you saw it yesterday as well. Sometimes it just chucks it down around Silverstone. Hmm. Crofty talking about letting Piastri get past Lando. Lando will be managing Crofty. Like, Jesus, they're all managing. I think Norris could get closer to Max if he wanted to or needed to. I think he's just managing his tires at the minute. I think they all, honestly, I think they all are. They just want to get their tires far enough that they'll last until the rain whenever that comes. He must know that Lando, yeah, Piastri's right behind her, but Lando, I think, could go quicker if he had to. He's just not. He's just choosing not to at the minute. Hmm. It's rain. Everyone's talking about the rain, so they're all expecting it. It's just a little bit of a difference in how long it's going to be and how heavy. Hmm. the the chaos is gonna happen soon. It's just when. It's just when, isn't it? The thing is, as well, if the first bit of rain is light enough, obviously they'd want to stay out. You're surprised no one's got in for Inters. A little bit early for Inters, isn't it? Well, Zhou Guan Yu is pitting off those soft tyres, which seems he's going on to mediums. So why they put them on softs knowing the rain was coming, I don't really know why. Because they'll now be a stop behind on track. And if everyone has to pit for Inters now, that doesn't make sense to me at all. I guess they gambled hoping the rain would come sooner, so that's why they put them on softs. So that hasn't worked for Zhou Guan Yu, certainly. Yeah, where is Peter? I don't think it counts, though, Dan, when Peter said that they were quick and going to dominate the season in testing, and then it turned out to be complete nonsense. I don't think it counts. You know. Because he believed they were sandbagging in testing and that they were going to come to the first race and they were going to be amazing. Then the first race came and he was nowhere to be seen. Norris is back within DRS of Verstappen and Piastri is out of DRS. As I said to you, Norris could go quicker if he wanted to. He's just, biding his time. It sounds like what they were saying is there's going to be a little bit of rain to begin with, and then it's going to be a break for sort of 10 minutes, and then a heavier fall is going to happen. Oh, George Russell is reporting rain. You can see it on the camera. George Russell reporting rain. We just saw it on the camera going through the first sector. Oof. Lando is getting closer now. He might be close down the hangar straight, if he decides to go for it. He's going to be close. He's through. Norris back into third. Norris just did a 30.9. That was 6/10 quicker than the two Mercs. Yes, he had DRS and a huge slipstream, which would have helped, certainly. Max really didn't fight it all that much, to be fair. Max really didn't fight it. Verstappen doesn't really have the pace in this stage of the race, does he? Not really. Ooh, Charles Leclerc's been told heavy rain. Ooh. Oh. The ponchos are going on. The ponchos are going on. Alarm. Alarm. Hamilton lost like half a second there on Russell and Norris. He must have made a small mistake going into Stowe. Well. Yeah, the Mercs seem to do better, I think, in rain because the car seems to operate better in lower temperatures. It struggles more in warmer temperatures. So cool temperatures and rain, it doesn't seem to do too bad. I think it's better in rain now than it was at the start of the season because the car has more downforce. They were struggling for downforce ultimately, weren't they? Now, Verstappen is vulnerable to Piastri. Like, Piastri is now within DRS down the hanger straight. Fucking Piastri's past him as well. Oh, it looks wet in Stowe. It looks wet. Piastri a little bit tentative through Stowe. It looked greasy. Well, Hamilton's within a second of Russell all of a sudden. What's happened there? Has George made a mistake? George is all over the shop. Well, if his DRS is still enabled, he'll be past him here. I don't know what's going... Honestly, George seems to be struggling all of a sudden. Oh, there's a lot of rain now, guys. There's a lot... Oh, they're both off! Both Mercedes are off! Oh, my God. Russell's in third. Norris is past him. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Going into the loop. DRS has been disabled. They don't want to come in for inters because they think this rain won't last. That's the problem. Norris is all over the back of Hamilton now. Yeah, Norris had so much grip through Stowe. He's going to be past him. He's through. Oh my God! Piastri's going round this. Oh! Oh my God! Oh my God! Yeah. Well, we said Mercedes were good in these conditions. The Mercedes are not quick at all. They're struggling. They are struggling. Oh, did Norris go off there? Norris went off. Norris went off. Oh, through Chapel, I think. Piastri's going to take Lewis. Yeah. Oh, what do they do? What do they do? They're staying out. They put Perez on inters, Ocon on inters, Charles Leclerc on inters. Yeah, Lewis is saying no to inters. Oh, God, yeah. It's hard to know what to do. Charles Leclerc put inters on, though. I'll try and keep tabs on the lap times. Oh, dear. Oh, God, this is anyone's race at the minute. Yeah, it does look like that small shower is, I wouldn't say over, but it looks like they're back to normal now, honestly. Those guys that pitted for Inters are going to have to go and pit again now. They've ruined themselves, guys. They pitted too soon. Charles Leclerc, all that work in 8th place, he's ruined. Last time across the line, Charles Leclerc did a 1:42.8. The leaders did 1:31s. He was over 10 seconds slower on those Inters. The shower is essentially over. I mean, there will be more rain, but that McLaren definitely looks like it's got more downforce, 100%. I think Lewis is running. They're saying Lewis has slightly more downforce than George as well. Yeah, Norris went off through Maggots and Beckett's. Yeah, there we go. Oh, sorry, that's an unsafe release, that, Lando. Unsafe rejoin. That's what he said of the Mercedes when they did something similar, but there wasn't really anything they could do. They had to rejoin somewhere. A 30.8 from Norris. Does look like it's raining still, though. You could definitely see water on the camera. Yeah, the strategies at Ferrari. You know. You know. So 30.9 last lap for Piastri, 31.1 for Norris, a 31.1 for Hamilton, a 31.4 for Russell, 32 for Verstappen. Verstappen is 4 seconds behind George Russell. See, I would have thought that with all that shit going on with the two Mercedes and McLaren swapping positions and hot swapping, that Verstappen would have been right there, but he wasn't. Yeah, we're almost at half distance. Yeah, it's crazy. 30-minute batch of rain, they're telling Norris. They're saying 30 minutes of rain coming. Charles Leclerc's 30 seconds behind Bottas, guys. He's 30 seconds behind Bottas. He's in 16th, Bottas is 15th, running on the Inters. There's no fucking point. Bottas can stop, put fresh Inters on, and still come out ahead of you, and you're on used Inters. It doesn't make any sense. Oh, Perez is about to be lapped, guys. Perez did start in the pit lane, but he stopped for Inters, and last time across the line, he was 15 seconds slower. Make it make sense to me why they've kept him and Leclerc out. Why have they let him out? Why have they left him? Within 2 laps of running at that pace, they've lost well over a pit stop. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever because they're 15 seconds a lap slower. There's no sense to staying out there. Absolutely no sense. And there you go, Charles Leclerc now. Charles Leclerc's also now been lapped. What a terrible fucking decision. Once they pitted for Inters and realised it was wrong, they just had to take their medicine and pit. They had to. They had to just pit, put softs on. Oh, Charles Leclerc's in the fucking gravel now. Jesus. Ferrari, what are you doing? Ferrari, what are you doing? Just admit defeat and pit, man. Come on. It's bonkers. He's gone past the pit again. Oh my lordy lordy. The thing is, they've stayed out for so long now that the rain will be coming. They've almost left it too long to pit because the rain will be coming now. But yeah, it's well, it's the definition of shooting yourself in the foot. They've ruined themselves here, but anyway. Ooh, Carlos Sainz. Well, they've disabled DRS, so they must consider the track wet. Carlos Sainz has already lapped Charles Leclerc. He's already lapped him. Piastri is right on the tail of Norris all of a sudden as well. Piastri right on the tail of Norris. Oh, Piastri's all over him. It's very slippy, guys. They're boxing Verstappen. Now that is interesting. Yeah, they're definitely slower now. They're definitely slower now. They were doing 30s, they're now in the 40s. So we are definitely at the crossover point. It could be the perfect lap for Verstappen, you know. It honestly could be the perfect lap. You've got Hulkenberg, Stroll, Ricciardo all pitting. It's definitely 100% Inters now. We've now got to the point of Inters, for sure. But, well, Piastri's going to get ruined a little bit because of the double stack. And now, potentially, Russell will get ruined because he's now behind Hamilton. Just depends how good they are on the stops. Verstappen has gained 4 or 5. Oh, they've left Piastri out. No. Why have they done that? Verstappen's gained so much time on all of them, honestly. Oh, God. Verstappen has got ahead of George Russell. See, this is what I mean with the double stack. Russell lost 4 seconds. Maybe more, actually. 6 seconds because of that double stack. Piastri's ruined. He'll be miles off. He'll be a pit stop off. They should have double stacked him. I don't understand why they didn't double stack him there. Nah, they've ruined Oscar there. They have fucking ruined him. He was right behind his teammate. Now he's going to be a full pit stop behind him. Like, Piastri now will be a full pit stop behind his teammate. That's rough, man. It's rough. They should have just double stacked him. Mercedes did it, and yes, Piastri would have lost out. But he would have come out ahead of Verstappen. Maybe behind Hamilton. But he wouldn't have been as far back as he's going to be now. Piastri's now going to be behind Verstappen and Sainz. Yeah, I don't think that was a good decision. So Piastri is now 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15, 19 seconds behind his teammate, who he was right behind when they stopped. He would have probably been about 6 seconds behind him had they double stacked. So, I mean, I don't understand why they kept him out. I just don't. Really, really don't. Rain until lap 40, so they reckon at least another 11 laps of this rain. Yeah, I don't know, man. Russell's already trying to cool those inters down, I think. I think Piastri will be able to catch Sainz for sure. Max Verstappen is struggling. He did a 41.5, over a second slower than the guys ahead. And a lot slower than George Russell as well. 2 secs. Oh, well, hold on. Yeah, hold on. We're back. Right, sorry, back. What was... Yeah, Max just saying his tyres are already gone. Bloody hell. He's only been on him 4 laps. To be fair, though, it looks like the rain isn't that bad anymore. Oh, I don't know. The whole field's on inters, so they're all in the same boat now. and Norris has got really good pace, slightly quicker than Lewis on this lap. Piastri is now right behind Carlos Sainz. We thought he'd catch him. Russell is catching Max Verstappen, and the gap between Norris and Hamilton is pretty stable. It's such a changeable race, isn't it, with the weather? It's so bonkers how it's like, oh, it's drizzling, it's wet, oh, track's soaked, oh, wait, it's completely dry again. Yeah, Hamilton's saying his front tyres are ruined because the track's reasonably dry in places. Oh, they are falling apart. Look at Max Verstappen's fronts. They're absolutely falling apart. Oof. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting because according to the weather report, it's going to carry on raining. But Lewis is saying to his engineer, Bono, hold on, mate, it's not even... What are you talking about rain's going to carry on? It's not even raining. George Russell, the bringer of safety cars. How dare you, Daz? Lando's doing really good here. And honestly, Verstappen's seems to have stopped the bleed as well. Like he's stabilized with his lap times. He's actually pulling back away from George Russell. Wait, George Russell? Russell's just pitted. Retire the car! What? What? I just saw that he lost 3 seconds? You guys have just ruined George Russell. You guys have just ruined George Russell. I want you to think about what you've done, guys. I want you to think about it. I want you to really think about what you've just done. What the hell happened? Engine issue, maybe, or something? Oh, man. Rage quit. Oh, George. I'll say this. I know this sounds bad, but at least he wasn't winning when it happened. It would have been it would have taken a lot for him to get back from where he was into a winning position. So at least that car hasn't failed then. Because it would be way worse of a kick in the teeth if you were in first. Isn't it ironic that he's retired with a water issue when it's raining? There is an irony in that, isn't there? Verstappen's much quicker now, by the way. Max, much quicker. He did a 42.4 then. Hamilton did a 42.7. Russell did a 43 flat. Bloody hell, K-Mag. He almost yeeted himself into the pits, didn't he? Yeah, yeet. Hulkenberg in 6th, by the way. Hulkenberg is having such a good season. Honestly, he's really showing just how good he is, I think. He is really good. Lando's just lost quite a bit of time there. Oh, George's going to be fucking devastated, isn't he? Oh, he's going to be absolutely devastated. Starting on pole, retired from the race. It's rough. Yeah, so McLaren have medium tyres, whereas Mercedes don't. Ooh, wobble from Lando. Yeah, McLaren saved an extra set of mediums. So they could put mediums on. If the track dry now, they could put mediums on now to the end. Mercedes can't. Mercedes would have to go hard or soft. And I think softs would be a struggle. Well, this is the problem. But Lewis wouldn't stand a chance on hards against mediums. So I think this puts McLaren ultimately in the driver's seat, because I don't see how Lando can lose, because he'll have the perfect tyre and Lewis can't really put a soft on because it won't last and the hard won't be quick enough. So it's going to be tough, I think, for Mercedes. I'm not sure. I think parts of the track, again, like bone dry, they've been looking for the water, and then other parts of the circuit are pretty wet. So we're what, 14 laps from the end of the race? 14 laps on softs around here, I think would be too much. You'd want a medium tyre. You'd want a medium tyre, but... Well, of course. Zach Brown saying he lost more time staying out than if they would have double stacked. I mean, yes, of course. Of course they did. Like... Soft tyres for K-Mag. They're boxing Hamilton as well. Hamilton's in the pits. Daniel Ricciardo, soft tyres. Max Verstappen pitting. Soft tyres. Oh, they had to hold him for the Sauber. He lost time there. Hards on the... Ooh. They've gone hards on... That's Piastri, that is. But they are going to put Norris on mediums. They put Max Verstappen on the hard tyres and Lewis on the softs. Hamilton was slow, though, because he had to wait for... I'm not sure if it was Bottas. He had to wait in his pit box for Bottas to go past. No, you're not allowed to mix tyres. They're putting softs. Oh, he's missed his marks there. Oh, Norris was off his marks there. Hamilton's going to take the lead. It was a bad stop. He was miles off his marks, was Lando. Well, they're on the same tyre. The question is, will the softs hold up until the end of the race? Will the softs hold? I don't know. They've got to do 12 laps, and then you've got Verstappen on the hards who's there to pounce if they don't. I don't know, man. I'm just watching this Lando stop. Oh, he just skidded on the water. It was just on the wet pit box. I think this McLaren's lightning quick. This is not over at all. It wouldn't surprise me one iota if Lando was able to catch Lewis, because they're really quick. Two seconds. Max Verstappen was quicker than Lewis Hamilton last time around on the hard tyres. And Verstappen's only 3 seconds behind Norris. Max Verstappen could still fucking win this race. Oh my God. Norris fastest lap, a 29.7. Then Max, the fastest lap, a 29.6. Ten laps left, though. It's a long, long time. Oscar Piastri at 29.5, but he's in fourth. He's on the mediums as well. Hamilton had a new set of hards as well. He could have put hards on. I'm really surprised McLaren didn't go mediums. 29.4 for Verstappen. 2/10 quicker than Hamilton in the lead. Yeah, Oscar's quick at the minute, at the minute, but Verstappen's the quickest out of all of them. And he's on the hard tyres. It's a long way to go as well. It's a long circuit, this one. It's a long circuit. You're starting lap 44 now. What's that? 8 laps? 9, actually. $29.2 for Piastri was quick. 29.1 for Verstappen. A 29.2 for Norris. 29.7 for Hamilton. I think Norris is quicker than Lewis. And I think Verstappen is quicker than Norris at the minute. Hmm. $29.3 for Verstappen, $29.6 for Hamilton, $29.7 for Norris. Verstappen's getting close. Yeah, but these tires could fall off a cliff, Daz, though. They could fall off a cliff. .1 is the gap from Norris to Hamilton, and two flat now from Verstappen to Norris and Norris to Hamilton. Maybe they should have put him on the hards, you know. I think the only way Lewis wins this race now is if Norris slows down and holds up Max. I think that's the only way. I think if that doesn't happen, I think Max wins the race. It's getting spicy. Hamilton's coming up behind some back markers currently. You've got Ocon, Ricciardo, Magnussen, and Sargent ahead of him. Oh, it's so close. He might be in DRS. Yeah. Shit's getting real now, folks. Shit's getting real now. They had mediums for Norris as well. Oh, this is going to be close with Norris and Max. Norris is going to struggle to hold him back here, I think. Oh, he's passed easily. Nothing Lando could do. He went to the inside to defend, but he had to concede. There was nothing he could do. He was past him before the corner, so... Yeah, I mean, as it happened, Lando moved to the inside and just essentially just cleared the road for Max, and Max could stay on the correct line. Lando didn't do anything wrong. He had to try and defend. He couldn't just let Max go up the inside, but as it happens, he just he just kind of got out of the way. It just depends, because there's a lot of back markers coming up, and that could really interfere from both sides. Depends where these back markers get out of the way. What you got? You've got... Is it Ricciardo? Ocon Ricciardo to start with. Ocon's got out of the way. Oh, he's behind Perez. Perez ain't going to make it easy for him. Yeah, Perez doesn't move over. So, yeah, Perez has moved out of the way. He'll move out of the way for Verstappen, obviously. Now we've got Ricciardo. And I don't think they'll catch Magnussen and Sargent, to be honest. Well, Ricciardo's probably not going to get out of the way easily, is he? He wants a seat at Red Bull. He does get out of the way, though. Right, so 2 laps to go now. Verstappen across the line is 2.8 seconds behind. Four tenths quicker on the last lap. Sainz pitting. Oh, he's got a gap to Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg in P6, by the way. Fucking fair play. It has been a mad race. I mean, honestly, the beginning part was insane when the rain came. It was just musical chairs. It was wild. Bloody Brian May is on the checkered flag. I don't think Lewis would mind if he did the flag a lap early. Right, cross the line now. It's the final lap. 2.5 seconds is the gap to Max Verstappen. Norris is now a further 4.2 seconds behind that. Saudi Arabia 2021 is when he last won a race. He would love to win this. Of all the races to win after a drought, this is the one he'd want to win. Norris would have won this race, by the way, if they put him on the mediums. They had a fresh set of mediums and they didn't use them. Gap is 2.2. Look how quick Piastri's been on those mediums. Norris wins this race on the medium tyres, guys, undeniably, because Mercedes only had softs and hards. He had to run the soft. Well, providing Hamilton doesn't mess up into the final chicane. He is back winning again. At the British Grand Prix, no less. Wow. What a race that was. What a race that was. Fucking hell. Oof. Mercedes have just won back-to-back races, by the way. What? That's crazy. What an insane race that was. What an insane race that was. Do you know what made Lewis's race? I'll tell you. Getting past George Russell in the wet conditions. George was really struggling. Lewis got past him. That meant he was able to pit first for the Inters. He was ahead in the queue. And that ultimately made the difference for him. If he was behind George, he would have been behind Verstappen. And he wouldn't have won the race. His first stint is what won him the race. Ultimately, though, if Norris puts the mediums on, he wins the race. Ultimately. I think we can all agree with that. But you have to take it, just like George took it last week. The pace there at the end from Lewis was brilliant on those tyres. Oh, Lewis is very emotional there. I think that probably means a lot to him after not winning. He probably tries hiding it, but it's probably been eating away at him, not winning a race. I think Lando is going to be ruining that tyre choice, honestly. Because Piastri was so quick on those medium tyres. Norris wins the race on the mediums. He's going to be fucking gutted. Honestly, George is going to be sick. But when George retired, he was down in 5th, 6th. I can't remember. But yeah, Max was lightning quick there at the end on those hards, wasn't he? Lightning quick. What a crazy, crazy race. It had everything there with position changes and jeopardy and the, the changeable conditions constantly. Crazy. Yeah, honestly, so many people could have won that race. So many drivers. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I said this when they pitted for those inters, they would have known within 2 laps this is the wrong tire. Let's pit, go back, take our medicine, right? But they left them out there lapping over 10 seconds slower to the point that when the rain did come and everyone pitted for inters, they all got lapped. I don't know who's running. I don't know who's running the strategy there, but that's crazy. It's crazy. Charles Leclerc was running in the points when he pitted for Inters. He finished in 14th. Sergio Perez, I know he started in the pit lane. He's finished the race without an issue in P17, 2 laps down, because of that tyre decision. That's mental. I mean, it is nice because we've now had George. We had George winning, Lewis winning. It's nice to see because I think it'll mean a lot to him because he's been so long, and that was a hard fought win as well. I'm not taking anything away from George. Lewis won that on pace. So Mercedes won this race on pace compared to last week where they weren't gifted. Well, they were kind of gifted it in Austria. However, the caveat to that is I do genuinely think that if Lando put those mediums on, it was game over. If Lando put those mediums on, I do think he wins the race. So I do think it took a bit of a blunder there from McLaren to help Lewis there. Absolutely. But, you take him, don't you? Lewis won't give a shit about that. And yeah, let's talk about Oscar. I said it at the time. He lost a whole pit stop to his teammate, yeah, by having to stay out in the rain. We saw with George Russell and Lewis, who double stacked, the gap was about 6 seconds, but they didn't have great stops either. So if they were right behind each other, double stack, he would have probably lost about 5 seconds. Let's say 5.5 seconds. 19 seconds, 20 seconds, 5 seconds. There's no logic to me as to why they just didn't double stack and take the pain. It was way worse to leave him out. Zach Brown came on the radio with Sky and said, oh, yeah, we thought, you know, and we'll have a look at that. You don't need to look at it. Anyone could have told you it was the wrong call before you did it. And yeah, let's not even fucking talk about Ferrari. There was this conspiracy theory that Lewis Hamilton was being sabotaged at Mercedes. People need to look what's happening with Charles Leclerc. Is that man being sabotaged with strategies? I can't accept that someone isn't on that Ferrari strategy playing strat roulette. I can't accept that that's not what's happening. If you were going to make a strat roulette board for Ferrari, what would you have on it? What would you call it? You'd call it like, what's that spinny wheel website? You know, where you can make a, what's it called? Is it Wheel of Names? Yeah, that's the one. Um, oh dear. Um, yeah. Right. That's probably enough now, isn't it? We don't need to stay for the podium. I might watch the podium off stream, but we don't need to hang around. thank you for joining me. What an enjoyable British Grand Prix. We had a lovely time. A Brit won. It was an interesting race. We had fun. And that's all that matters, really. I will see you folks tomorrow, as normally scheduled. Have a lovely, lovely weekend, and I'll see you on the flip side. Goodbye.